Okay everyone, in this lesson we're going to talk about the new and improved Windows 7 calculator. You can find the calculator in your start menu or by searching for it. First thing you'll notice off the bat if you're coming from an older version of Windows is it's a little bigger, and that's just to help for touchscreen integration. If you have a touchscreen computer or tablet, you can touch the buttons and use it just like a real calculator. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. However, there are a bunch of new features and some older features that have been made even nicer. So this is the default mode. It's in standard and basic. You can also go to scientific. That already existed before. Obviously, this can be useful for students or perhaps engineers or people who need to use trigonometry or calculus on a regular basis. I'm not going to go over how to use it because if you do need to use it, you probably already know. And that's nothing new from the older Windows. However, there is the programmer mode, which is new, which allows you to use a decimal system or a hexadecimal. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to put in the number 128, and right now that's in decimal. Hexadecimal changes it to 80. Then I can change it into bytes, which you see this is the number 128 written. If you're a programmer, this can actually be very useful and save you some time rather than taking a calculator out and having it separate from your actual computer space. There's also the statistics mode, which if you know how to use, if you're using statistics for either school or your job, this can be beneficial. Again, for the same reason, you don't need to have your calculator with you, next to you while using your computer. You can just use it straight from your desktop. There's also the unit conversion, which can convert angles, lengths. You know, it's very good if you're doing constant conversions between metric and imperial mode or temperatures. I'll just give an example here. Today it's very cold where I'm living. It's 9 degrees. So say I wanted to tell much of my family is actually French. I wanted to tell them what degrees it is in Celsius. I would tell them about negative 13 degrees right now. Again, that was super easy. I can even change it to Kelvin if I would needed to. There's also date calculations, which tells you the difference between two dates. So say today is January 28th and I want to figure out how long until March 20th. Maybe I have a conference that day. I can just hit calculate. It would be 1 month, 2 weeks, 6 days, or 51 days. Alternatively, I could just write a number in here rather than using the calendar. Now there's also worksheet templates that are brand new. There's a mortgage template, which again, maybe you're shopping for house prices and you want to figure out what your monthly payment will be. The purchase price, I'm just making these numbers up, but say a house of $250,000, you have a down payment of $70,000 for 30 years and an interest rate of 5%. If you calculate it, it shows you this would be your monthly payment, about a little over $966 per month. So there's mortgage payment, the mortgage payment template. There's also, you can do it for a vehicle lease, figuring out the fuel economy of your car. So based on how much gas you put in and how long you went, it will tell you how many miles per gallon you had. Again, very useful if you're have a company vehicle and you're trying to figure out for tax purposes or reimbursement purposes. And they also have that in the metric value. So again, this is a cool feature that's brand new to the Windows 7 calculator. I'm going to go back to standard and basic, because whatever you X out and close out of the calculator mode in, that's what it will restart. Since this is where I want it to start next time I bring it up, I'm putting it here rather than closing out in one of the other template versions. Okay guys, thanks. I'll see you in the next video.